going to be coming out of chapter. And then we're going to do a little role play with consultations. So you guys can start doing consultations with your models, people that are here, or just when you want to practice. So we'll be at the top of communication basics, starting in chapter 4, communicating for success. Communication is the act of successfully sharing information between two people or groups of people so that it is effectively understood. So do you guys think you have good communication skills with family, personally, professionally, or is that a tool that we can work on? Yes, maybe so. Okay, setting, what do you mean? Can you elaborate?
I don't have any expert. There's nothing
Okay. So, but isn't it still you're working with a customer, if you will?
Yeah, but I feel like it's a lot of personal and here there's stuff there and you just kind of get into a point.
So maybe if you made it more personal over there, would it maybe be more enjoyable for you? Yeah. All right. How's your communication?
Before we do the consultation, I worked in call service for a while, so talking to people is like a weird problem for me.
Okay, so talking to people, but do they understand what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna engage in a conversation. That's what you mean.
I mean, if you have a message, do they receive your message? Okay.
I think when it comes to work, I'm pretty good at it because I have to be. I think in my personal life, probably not the best.
Okay.
Just when I have like an issue, I'll probably just not bring it up. But with work, I think.
But you do bring it up at work.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. You?
I think sometimes like my words get so jumbled that I have a hard time like kind of making it sound as clear as I could. So I wouldn't say I'm very good at it, but I'd say that like with my like energy and spirit, it kind of makes people like a little bit more comfortable to talk to me. So that's like one of my strengths, and then my weaknesses are like I don't know. I don't have a good time. See, I can't even right now. I can't even
Trying to express it.
Yeah.
So there are many facets to communication. You can communicate through your words. You can communicate through voice, inflections, facial expressions, body language, and visual looks. As you develop effective communication skills, consider that many times it is not what you say, but rather how you say it. Paying attention to nonverbal verbal cues we use can help us to improve the quality of our relations with both clients and colleagues. The list of positive and negative verbal cues in Table 4.1 will help you to become more aware of how you are coming across to others. When you and your client are both communicating clearly about an upcoming service, your changes of pleasing that person soar. So that's where our consultations are going to come in today. We're going to greet one another, go through our client consultation, also known as like an intake form, and you can put the consent form attached to that so you guys get used to talking to your clients. Yesterday we talked about adapting in different situations, building rapport, being organized. All of that can help you have more effective communication. So meeting and greeting new clients. One of the most important communications you will have with the client is the first time you meet the person. Be polite, genuinely friendly, and inviting, and remember that your clients are coming to you for services that they are paying for. This means it is your job to provide them with an excellent customer service every time they come to see you. Otherwise, if you don't, you may lose them to another esthetician or salon. To earn your clients' trust and loyalty, there are some key things that you want to do. You want to approach them with a smile. So today when we practice, you'll introduce yourself. Hi, I'm your student esthetician. My name is such and such. I will be the one giving you your back facial or giving you your waxing or what have you. Greet them with a smile. May handshake, may not, may fist pump or air high five because of everything that's going on. But just being warm and welcoming and introducing yourself is going to be your next one. Tell them your name so that way you make sure it's the right client, they're with the right practitioner, and you want them to remember your name as well as ask them for theirs, even though you should know it. But sometimes I know for me, I have trouble pronouncing people's names if it's like a more complex name. So I'm like, can you say your name for me? So that way I can say it right. Tour of your place. So that way, if they need to use the bathroom, when all during their cleaning session, hey, the restrooms are right across the hall. Some of the lash clients like to have to get up, not like to, but have to get up during their lash service. So if you go ahead and instruct your client to use the restroom prior, then you don't have to worry about them getting up. And it really makes a world of a difference. But sometimes that can mess up your flow if you have to stop it right in the middle. So it's nice to be able to finish all the way through. So it's really important to be like, hey, the restrooms are over here. This is our waiting room. This will be our changing room if they need to change for a facial or some type of tanning service, spray tanning service. And then also you want to introduce them to everyone else. If your receptionist is at the front, they're going to be the first to meet them. But if you have fellow estheticians, maybe nail techs, lash polishists, or massage therapists, introduce them. If maybe you guys are cross-selling services and you're doing the facial and you know that your colleague's doing the massage, go ahead and let them know if it's, feasible, that this will be your massage technician today after you're done with your facial. And then last but not least, be yourself. Whatever that is, don't try to be somebody you're not, because then you're putting up a persona. If you're happy, bubbly, go out, super giddy, be that person. Quiet, a little bit more reserved, be that person. Be who you are, because you want to attract people that are going to like you for you, and you're still set for yourself. That being said, we're going to go into the intake form, which is also called your client questionnaire or consultation. I'm going to pass it out in just a second. Card. This should be filled out by every new client before receiving services. Whether in a salon or a school, this form can prove to be extremely useful. Some salon intake forms ask for a lot of detailed information and some do not. In aesthetic school, the intake form may be accompanied by a release statement in which the client acknowledges that the service is being provided by a student who is still learning. So that's super important, whether you're in school or not, because you want to make sure that they have a thorough understanding of what their service entitles. So if they're coming in and, getting lashes, they understand, hey, the lashes need to dry for the next 6 to 12, maybe 24 hours. Make sure you're not putting on tons of makeup. Make sure you're keeping them clean. That way, if you go over all the expectations of the service with them, then they'll get a much better service result as far as the longevity of the lashes, the facial glow lasting longer, all that good stuff. So it's really important to put certain questions on your intake form. Some of those questions are going to pertain to your client's health history to see if they're a good candidate for the services that they're coming in for. It's also going to ask them if they have any relevant allergies or if they've experienced any sensitivities to anything, as well as you're going to put in the information that you need to cover yourself as a practitioner. And then you both sign and date it. Some salon intake forms ask for a lot of detailed information and some do not. In aesthetic school, the intake form may be accompanied by a release statement in which the client acknowledges that the service is being provided by a student who is still learning. This helps protect the school and the student from any legal action by a client who may be unhappy with the service. The salon you work in is likely to be equally cautious when it comes to accepting risk. Ask clients to sign and date the intake form at each visit, especially when more advanced high-risk procedures are involved. In this event, a client does not disclose a previous treatment that has an adverse effect. Thus, they sign the intake form and may suffer, tangible evidence that the information was not disclosed. How to use a client intake form? The client intake form should be mentioned the moment the new client calls a skincare salon or spa to make an appointment. When scheduling the appointment, let the client know that you and the salon will require some information before you can begin the service. And put it in your policies and procedures. Intake form is a must. In order for you to see them, they have to fill out this intake form. Nowadays, they have the CORAT forms, plus intake forms, and then maybe another form on top of that to make sure everybody's like healthy and they're not spreading anything. But everything that you expect of your client, you should be telling them in your initial conversation. So if they want an appointment and you expect a deposit down before you even book the appointment, tell them that. If there's certain forms that they need to fill out, tell them that and reiterate your policies and procedures. Hey, if you need to schedule before 24 hours, reschedule, please note that you will be charged half price, full price, or a reschedule fee. Like, lay it out on the line. And then when they actually get the documents, you're reiterating it again. And then your front desk at the end, when they're talking about the service and all of that, they kind of put it all together. But it's really important to put out your expectations. And when you're putting your questions in your client form and you tell them, hey, if you go swim after your lashes, you may lose some. Or if you're constantly messing around with them or pulling at them, you may lose natural lashes. If you let them know, then they can't come back and say, well, you didn't tell me. Yes, I did. Here's the policy and here's where you signed saying that you acknowledge, that you understood communication, right? What I was telling you. So it's just a way to cover yourself, the intake form. A lot of people think it's non and void, but send it every time. Send it, have them fill it out, have them look over it, update it. If you want to keep the same form, have them initial and put the date that they're coming in, and then the next time do the same thing. That way you just cover your bases. How to use the client intake form. The client intake form should be mentioned the moment a new client calls the skincare salon or spa to make an appointment. When scheduling the appointment, let the client know that you and the salon will require some information before you can begin the service. Some salons ask clients to arrive 15 minutes before the appointment time for this purpose. You will also have to allow time in your schedule to conduct a 5 to 15-minute client consultation, also known as needs assessment. The verbal communication with the client to determine desired results, depending on the type of service you will be performing and the client's needs. Your consent form, having a client sign a consent form is a standard practice for more aggressive treatments. So your microdermabrasions, your chemical pills. The consent form is a customary written agreement between the client and the esthetician for applying a particular treatment, whether routine or preoperative. It is a legal document that is kept in the client's chart. Typically, it states that the client agrees to the treatment, application, or procedure, as well as understands and accepts all the risks involved. It is important to note, it is not to create an atmosphere of apprehension when introducing this form to clients. What you do want to accomplish is a thorough understanding of the benefits and the features of the service or the product in question. You also want the client to have a complete understanding of any contraindications to its use, making these things clear at the outset, can help reduce any fears or anxiety the client may have and allow the client to feel more comfortable with the treatment process. So that's why even though we have them fill it out, the initial time we go back over each question with them. So that way they're also verbally indicating to you, as well as a written signature, that they understand what you put. So here are the school's paper forms of consultations. And you'll notice that Neurologica has another form too. You can use either or and really staple them together. You guys can go ahead and fill this out. This is what we're going to use today to do your practice consultations. So I will post this later, but this is the school consultation form. They're filling it out and they're getting ready to do practice consultations with one another, going through each question and talking to each other as if one's the practitioner and one's the client, and then vice versa. The point of this exercise is to get you used to communicating with your client, talking about things that maybe always that comfortable to talk about, as far as people may not be comfortable talking about their past health or their age or maybe some other things. So opening the dialogue, opening the conversation to let them know that this is a safe space and they can talk to you about their issues, so that way we can help them reach their skincare goals. So we're just going to take a couple of minutes and fill that out, and then we're going to go through consultations. Guys done? Okay, so we'll go through it as a class, and then you guys partner up and go through it with your partner. First thing is, you'll introduce yourself, right? Come up and greet them. Hi, I'm Miss Ashley. I'm going to be your esthetician today. I see that your name is Susan Brown, that you were born on March 8th, whatever. Their email, go through their address, their city, wherever they live, their occupation. The occupation will tell you a lot about their skin if they are having issues. Make sure they put an emergency contact. The point of the emergency contact is so that if something does happen, you can call them in case. Do you have any health problems or concerns that to be aware that I need to be aware of before this treatment? And they should indicate yes or no. If they indicate yes, you're more than welcome to always fill out more information on the back of your consultation. Do you have any allergies? If they put an allergy, go to your Dermalogica book that lists all the ingredients, and that will let you know if you can use a product or not. Any recent surgeries on your face, neck, and shoulders? They'll indicate yes or no. Are you currently or have you used Retin-A, Renova, or any powerful alpha hydroxy acid within the past 3 months? Yes or no. Are you currently using Accutane? Are you using any other skin thinning products or drugs? Are you diabetic? Do you use a tanning bed? Are you exposed to the sun daily, or will you spend more time out in the sun anytime soon? Do you currently wear contact lenses, and have you experienced Botox, Restylane, collagen injections, and then you find out that they have, and when the last time it was that they did? And then you're going to circle any conditions. So pacemakers, high blood pressure, asthma, bruising, metal plate, cancer, seizures, skin infections, cold sores, anemia, stroke, warts, epilepsy, headaches, accident or trauma, lupus, hepatitis, or pregnant. We want to know those just in case you want to include some machines in their treatment, like they're coming in for a Pro 30, but we think they really benefit from a Pro 60 with maybe a little bit of LAD therapy or like the BT micro or something like that. And certain people with certain conditions can't get that. Have you had an allergic reaction to any of the following? Aspirin or salicylic? Yes or no. Milk, citrus, grapes, lavender. Dermalogica uses a lot of that in their products. They use salicylic acid. Aspirin and salicylic acid are derived from the same thing. So if they have an allergy to aspirin, they'll most likely have an allergy to salicylic, and salicylic acid is used in a lot of dermalogica products. Milk, that's going to be your lactose acid. Citrus could be like lemons, limes, grapes, and then grapes are on there too. That's going to be your targic acid, and then if anybody's allergic to lavender. Fish, marine, or iodine allergies, cosmetic products in general, any type of skincare products, nuts/peanuts. If you checked yes to any of the above, they'll need to explain, and you just go over it with them more in detail so you have a thorough understanding of what it is that they're saying. If they're under the care of a dermatologist, and then if they have any skincare challenges and concerns. And then this little paragraph that says, I understand, have read and completed this questionnaire truthfully. I agree that this constitutes full disclosure and that it supersedes any previous verbal or written disclosure. I understand that withholding information or providing misinformation may result in contraindications and or irritation to the skin from treatments received. The treatments I received the treatments I receive are voluntary, and I release the esthetician from liability and assume responsible thereof. That's your consent right there. So the rest is your questionnaire or consultation or intake form. This is your actual consent part. This is what is your bread and butter when it comes to your clients and your services. It has a spot for them to sign. If they're under 18, they need to have a legal guardian or parent, and then a spot for you to sign and date. And then you could either attach another form or just flip it over, and every time they come, have them sign a date. Unless something's changed drastically, then they need to fill out a new one. Cool? Okay, who wants to go first?
Ask them the questions.
Yeah, you're just reiterating, so that way you make sure you're on the same page. Like, They understood what the question was, and you understand what they wrote.
Did I have to like answer as you're asking?
You're just reiterating, confirming. So they'll nod. Yeah, they should. You just tell them, hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and go over your consultation form with you so I can reiterate, make sure that you understood the questions and I understood your answers. So you wanna go first, Alexis? All right. Have at it. Who's gonna be who? One of you is the practitioner, one of you is the client. Okay.
I don't have to stand, do I?
No, stand. Oh, so everybody can see you.
Oh, shoot.
You're good.
Hi, Alexis. My name is Elizabeth, and I'll be your esthetician for today. So I'm just gonna go through your consent and intent form. And, see, you were born in August 4th. Alexis and Garces. How do I say your last name? Garces. Garces, I'm sorry. Garces, and you live in Fort Worth? Yes. Phone number still ends in 8319. And you work as an office rep. Yes. You don't have any health problems, no allergies, no recent surgeries on your face, neck, or shoulders. You're currently not using any acids or haven't used them in the past 3 months. And you are not currently using any acetone, no drugs. You're not diabetic. Don't tan. Don't get exposed to the sun. You don't wear contacts. Haven't had any Botox, but you do get headaches. Okay. We have no allergic reaction. Oh, you don't use some certain cosmetic product. What kind of cosmetic product?
It was a certain brand that I had a reaction as soon as I tried it. It gave me breakouts all over.
Do you know what the name is? Okay, was it like foundation or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that with me.
Okay. Alright. You are not under any care of a dermatologist. And yeah, I think I've done a facial for you. You can get red.
So what does that tell you about her skin if she gets red?
She's sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it.
Okay, so what would you give her, Pro 30 or Pro 60?
I would give her a Pro 30.
Why?
Mm.
You gotta know why. Can't just be giving stuff.
Well, she doesn't usually have breakouts on her skin. I've had her facial before, and I haven't done any extractions on her skin before.
Okay.
And she doesn't use a lot of makeup. Just
So like a maintenance facial?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. You two in the back? Who wants to be who?
You wanna be the client? Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Ariana. Okay, so you were born, your birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
November 12th.
Hold on, side note, that's a good thing to know because you could offer them a special or a deal to come back or bring a friend on their birthday or something and maybe give them half off a facial or a complimentary facial or something like that. So that's a selling point to upsell.
Okay. You still live in Plano? And your phone number still ends in 4,000? Okay. You work at a volleyball club? That's cool. Okay. You have no allergies, no recent surgeries, none of the special stuff. Okay. No Accutane, no skin thinning products or drugs, not diabetic, no tanning bed, no time in the sun, no contact lenses, no Botox or any other injections, headaches and easy bruising. Okay. No allergies that I can see here. So you have eczema, skin sensitivity, it's a little red, that's pretty normal. And some breakout, okay. Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, so what would you diagnose her, or recommend for her, not diagnose? I feel like you went through that kind of fast. So did you pick up any of the information that you were reading, or were you just reading?
Just that she said that she had breakout and that she had sensitive skin and like, so probably like the Pro-30.
Why?
Because she didn't seem to have a lot of skin problems other than just like breakout.
Okay. So have you guys been studying your Pro-30, Pro-60?
No.
Let's look at that so we can kind of know what the facials are. So that's going to be chapter 15.
Okay.
Be looking through your dermatological because it tells you everything you need because you don't want to be going into a facial blinded. So be looking at that, learning ingredients, so that way you know what you can use on her because you have all the tools. So use them. All right. Does anybody have any questions over consultations? Go ahead.
So if someone came in with like super bad cystic acne,
You wouldn't work on them.
you don't work on them at all?
I wouldn't recommend it. I would send them to a dermatologist.
They're inflamed, right, Miss Ashley? So you wouldn't want to cause an infection outside of what they already got going on. Is that why you wouldn't?
A physician, because you can make it worse. Yep, you're correct, ma'am. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up. So that is a version of a consultation form. It doesn't have to be exactly like that. You can add more questions or take questions away. But some things that you want to remember when it comes to your consultation is the 10-step method. Every complete consultation needs to be structured in such a way that you cover all the key points that consistently lead to a successful conclusion. While this may seem like a lot of information to memorize, it will become second nature as you become more experienced in conducting consultations. Depending on the service requested, the consultation will vary to some degree. For example, a chemical peel will require more detailed consultation than a makeup application. To ensure that you are always thorough, keep a list of the following 10 key points at your station for referral and modify as needed for each actual service. So the first thing is going to be, my hazardous things out of the way. So, you're going to want to review. So before your client comes, you're going to want to review the intake form from your client that has been filled out prior to them coming, or just got filled out because it's the first time that they've been with you. So review it to see what you did the last time. So the first time, you do a pretty thorough consultation. If they're switching services, like maybe they're getting chemical peel and then now you're going to do lashes, you still want to do a thorough consultation if it's a new service. Even if it's the same client, it's a new service. So you have to educate them about this particular treatment and the expectations, the do's and the don'ts, all that good stuff. But you always want to review their chart. What did they get last time? Did they come in and get 10s, 12s, and 14s on their lashes? A baby doll look, or did you just kind of freestyle the look? Did they get a customized, Pro-30, or did you just, deep cleanse, let them steam, maybe did some extractions, and then dermal layering? What was their last treatment like? Who were they with for their last treatment if it wasn't you when you're analyzing their intake forms? And then what are their overall goals? Because that should be one of the questions that you're asking them. What are you expecting to get out of this? What are your goals for your skin or your lashes or what have you? You also want to assess your client's current goals and objectives. Is she looking to remedy a skin condition, rejuvenate her appearance, or relax and unwind? So when you guys are having your facial clients come in, do you ask them what brings them in today? Or do you just kind of just like, hey, I'm gonna be your esthetician, let's get started. Second one. So again, building up that rapport, communicating with them, you never know. Sometimes people will follow you. So find out what their end game is. Why are they coming to do the facial? Do they just want to treat themselves? Is it their birthday coming up, special occasion or event? Or are they really trying to include like a skincare regimen where they're coming and getting treatments and stuff? Next, your preference. Ask your client what skincare product she is currently using. Does she love the fact that she only has to spend 10 minutes a day taking care of her skin? What professional treatments has she had in the past? Was she happy with the results? And then what is the reason for today's visit? This is gonna be like because most people these days are using something. Most people, not everybody. You gotta find out what they're using. Like you just told us you used something and it broke your skin out, but you probably didn't know what was in it. Did you look at the ingredients?
No, at the time.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't, they'll put something out on the market and they're like, oh, this is so great. But you got to see what the main ingredients are and if it's clogging your skin or causing irritation. You also want to analyze. This is what Dermalogica calls face mapping. But analyzing the skin, this is where your mag lamp comes in. Can't spell analyze today. This is where you're going to make your determinations of the client's skin type, right? So is it oily? Is it dry? Is it normal? And you're also going to determine the skin conditions during this time. Do they have a breakout? Do they have excess oiliness? Do they have milia? Do they have hyperpigmentation? Signs of aging? And then from there, that's when you customize the treatment that you're actually going to give your client. So using a magnifying loupe or Woods lamp to assess the client's skin, note that the skin type, texture, and any skin conditions on the consultation and analysis form. Determine the client's Fitzpatrick type from the Fitzpatrick scale. That will be discussed later in chapter 12, skin analysis, but if you want, you're more than welcome to read ahead. And then any contraindications or allergies and sensitivities that will affect the treatment. So the skin type. You're also going to be looking at the texture, any type of conditions. And what else do we say? Contraindications. What is a contraindication? Alexis, you should know. What is it? If someone's contraindicated, that means they can't what?
Can't receive the service.
They can't use the product that you're offering because if you use the product, they can risk having an allergic reaction or adverse reaction to the product.
Yes, ma'am. Both answers. Correct. Yes. So contraindication is going to be something that prevents someone from getting a treatment or a service. You're also going to look at their lifestyle. So what are they doing? Are they partying every day? Are they in this high-tech, stressful job? How does their lifestyle look? Do they work out a lot? Do they not work out enough? Do they have poor sleep habits? Are they eating bad? All of that is super important because that's going to affect their outward appearance. Ask your clients about her career and personal lifestyle. Does she spend a great deal of time outdoors? Does she swim every day? Is she a businesswoman, an artist, a stay-at-home mom? Does she have a strong personal style and she wishes to project? What are her skincare habits? How often does she have facials? How much time does she want to spend taking care of her skin each day? Note that all the intrinsic and extrinsic factors are important. That's again in chapter 12, skin analysis, where it goes through how internal factors and external factors can both directly and indirectly affect the skin. If someone, is really, really tired, their skin may look sluggish. It may look saggy. It's not as plump. It's not as full, right? If they're dehydrated, same thing. It may look a little bit more dull or not have as much color as it normally would because they're lacking water, whatever. So understanding what they're doing outside of the time that they spend with you can really give you good indicators of why their skin is acting the way it is. Maybe it's genetic. They get it from, their family or what have you. But habits can a lot of time trump genetics. So it's really what we're doing every day that can be causing things to happen. Our daily rituals and practices, some cases vices. And then next is going to be show and tell. You're going to review the various treatment options. This is a good time to get a real grasp on whether the client's goals are realistic. What does the client hope to achieve? If she says she wants to look like a certain celebrity, does that mean she looks like the shape of the celebrity's eyebrows, or is intended in having dermatological or plastic surgery? Reinforcing your words with literature and before and after photos is crucial to having a clear understanding of what both of you are really saying. Listening to the client and then repeating in your own words what you think the client is telling you is known as reflective listening. Mastering this listening skill will help you to always be on target with your services and build a deep trust with your clients. So one of the projects on there on your practical sheet is, I think, an essay over 5 products, and then I think an essay over a Pro 30 and a Pro 60. So what that's asking you is, what is this particular treatment? And you tell me in your own words, kind of going back to effective communication. If you're able to repeat what the client said to you in your own words, same thing with like a test. If you understand the material that you just read, and you're able to put it in your own words, that means that it was effectively communicated to you and you have a clear understanding. So it's not just like reading the questions, but it's putting it in your own language to where you're able to comprehend. If your client comes in and says, I'm just so sick of my skin, it looks bad, I don't like it, I'm just tired of it. That's somebody that's at a stage where she's ready for a change. Look at their body language. What are they telling you? What are the services that you can offer them to help them reach their goals? That's the whole point of the consultation. And then the service is actually helping them reach their goals. So when you show and tell, you're going to talk about different treatment options. So by the time you guys leave here, the goal is for everybody to know chemical peels, to know waxing, to know threading, microblading if you take that certification, teeth whitening if you take that certification, back facials, bikini waxing, Brazilian waxing. I mean, the list goes on, all the different types of lashes you can do, and we're throwing a little bit of makeup in there. But the point is for you to have a basis to be very versatile in the treatments that you're able to offer your client to help them achieve their goals. And you're able to communicate how versatile you are. Then we're going to suggest and hopefully they've already been kind of following you on like Instagram or something like that. Once you have enough information to make valid suggestions, narrow the treatment options based on the following factors. So this is where you're going to determine the actual treatment. So again, it goes back to lifestyle. The products and services you recommend must fit the client's needs in terms of time and effort, stress level, medical conditions, intrinsic and extrinsic factors, hormonal issues, poor nutrition, smoking, alcohol habits, and personal appearance goals. Your skin type, You must base your recommendations on whether your client has dry, normally oily, combination, or sensitive skin condition. Point out any contraindications to treatments or special considerations related to conditions such as acne, hyper or hypopigmentation. And then last but not least, you're going to kind of look at their Fitzpatrick typing. The Fitzpatrick scale, again, is located in Chapter 12, Skin Analysis. And this talks about how someone may or may not burn according to how much melanin they have in their skin. So it's a generalization of a scale, and it basically determines, okay, if this Fitzpatrick type 3, we'll say, which is kind of the average Fitzpatrick type, like the Middle Eastern kind of Mediterranean, if they burn after like an hour or 2 hours in the sun, then that can give me an indication on how they may react with the chemical pill. So it's made for sun exposure, but people like to use it in terms of chemical pills. When chemical pills first came out, it was really only for the lighter Fitzpatrick types because there hadn't been enough studies done on darker Fitzpatrick types to understand that skin is skin is skin around the way. Yes, there's different melanin components as far as someone may have more or less, but skin is still skin, same as hair is still hair. So understanding the components of skin and how it works, and then the appropriate ingredients to use with that particular skin, they've now developed a diverse realm of chemical pills for everybody across the board. So, if your client has sensitive skin, maybe you don't want to use a super, aggressive chemical pill on them. Maybe you want to use like an enzyme or maybe a hydrotherapy because maybe their skin is sensitive and dry, whatever the case may be. But just understanding different scales and charts as well as ingredients, of course, skin types, skin conditions, and all that will help you be a better therapist. And it comes with time. But the first thing is reading. Always reading. A half an hour to 2 hours every day, because no telling what job you guys are going to end up in, and you want to already have the knowledge there. You're going to learn it as you go, but it's nice to be able to step into it. And this is where your knowledge comes in, is when you're suggesting the services that they need based off understanding their lifestyle, their type of skin, their conditions, all the different factors that can affect it, all that jazz. All right. Next is going to be sun exposure. It's really important to understand if our clients are in the sun a lot, because this can age us, right? Sun is the number one extrinsic outside factor that ages us, because of the rays getting the burning, and the aging rays automatically ages the skin, breaks it down, right? So we have to find ways to fight against that through clothing, the hair on our skin, putting on products, not being exposed to it too much, all that good stuff. Instructions regarding proper sun protection should be a part of every consultation service. Use the Fitzpatrick scale to recommend the appropriate level of sun protection. Products in caution all clients against the harmful effects of overexposure to the sun. Estheticians should stress to clients that overexposure to the sun may not only lead to skin cancer, but can also contribute to aging, hyperpigmentation, capillary damage, free radical damage, and collagen and elastin deterioration. It is especially important to advise clients who have exfoliating treatments to keep out of the sun to avoid serious side effects. So we want to talk about sun exposure for protection purposes, to be able to make sure we protect our skin, keep it young, keep it plump, all that good stuff. Your clients, if they don't have a sunscreen in their moisturizer, recommend one. You should be selling products as well as services and treatments, because they go hand in hand. Your maintenance, that's going to be your number 9. So maintenance is going to be counsel every client on proper skincare, a regular schedule of salon treatments that benefits the series of a treatment, lifestyle limitations, a home care regimen that he or she shall receive before leaving, and then they need to commit to it. that 80-20 rule, we can only give about 20%, right? Even if they come to us twice a month, depending on how extensive the treatment is, they're only with you for maybe 2 hours in that month. The rest of the time, they're with themselves. So it's their responsibility in the morning and in the evening to be washing their face or exfoliating or using the mask or the serum, wherever you recommend it to them, because they have more time to do so. And then they come into you to kind of oomph up that effect and get even better results. Last but not least, it's going to be repeat. Repeat everything that you have agreed upon. So reiterating, right, what they told you in your own words so that you know you understand. Make sure to speak in measured, precise terms and use visual tools to demonstrate the end result. This is the most crucial step of the consultation process because it ultimately determines the services you will perform. Take your time and be thorough. Does anybody have any questions? Pretty easy. So from here on out, we're going to be doing consultations and our services, whether it's a model, just our parent, our spouse or boyfriend or whoever. We're going to make sure that we're doing a consultation if it's their first time with us, and then reiterating any type of questions that may be prominent if they've switched medications, if they've changed jobs, if they've lost their job, whatever, to make sure that none of those internal or external factors are what's causing the change in their skin, if there is one. Cool? No questions? No? Does anybody have any questions online? Nope. All right.
Yes, Miss Ashley, I do. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Hey, do you have a consent form for us students online that we need to get?
I'm just gonna upload this one and you'll have to print it out, but you can have
Okay.
the same one that they got.
Okay, do they have to sign a consent form for getting waxed? Because I don't know if I told. It was the other instructor at night that I told. I'm gonna be shadowing tomorrow, but I don't know if I need to let because I'm the one that like got the clients. But I didn't know if I needed to let them sign a consent form or not tomorrow.
They should have got one emailed to them, so I can ask the front and see if they emailed it. Did you give them your client's name and like email address and stuff?
No, I didn't know like what the process was. I was just gonna have them like sign the consent form and then send it to y'all, but I didn't know what I needed to do.
Okay, so we need their name, their number, and their email address. And if you want to type that, go ahead.
I need to send it to you.
Send it. Yeah, that's fine. I can pass it over, or send it in the group me for like the staff. Like you know how you have your staff one, and then everybody will get it, and then they'll put it on the book. Oh, and put the time.
The times.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so you're welcome. Ashley, I got you. I got you, Christina. Who's HGC? I got you, Latoya. Ciela, I got you. Who's on here as HGC? Anybody?
I'm unknown, which is Tanya Gussidis.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out who this other person is in there. All right, Tasha, I got you. Stephanie, I got you. Shay, I got you. I don't know who that one is. All right, and I got you. All right, Latoya, I got you. Sharice, I got you. All right, I think that's everybody. Okay, this will be posted shortly. The next class will be tonight at 5:30. Don't forget to work on your mission statements that are due next Thursday, and then we'll be starting on infection control chapter 5. Complete all your Cengage assessments and assignments for chapters 1 through 4 over the weekend, as well as take the test, because we'll be on chapter 5. It goes really quickly, the 18 weeks. It seems like it's a long time, but it'll be rolling back around again. So I encourage you to keep up, so that way you won't be too far behind and you'll be able to graduate when you want to graduate. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will see you guys next Tuesday morning. There will not be class on Monday evening. I will be out of town this weekend. Somebody has a question?
Hey, this is Shy. Did you get me?
Yep, I got you.
Okay.
Yep. All right, ladies, have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Oh, so wait, next Wednesday. Thank you, love. Next Wednesday.